Hey everybody, my name's Kyle and this is Track by Track, music reviews, news, and commentary. Last year, when Paul McCartney released the album McCartney III, we got to hear some of the most unusual and experimental songs this music legend has released in a very long time. Recorded in rockdown, as he put it, Paul was essentially left to his own devices, just like so many of us were during the pandemic, and he spent that time creating the long-awaited sequel to 1980's McCartney II. This was an album that I was truly taken aback by. I was utterly surprised by how much I enjoyed it, and it ended up ranking among my top 10 albums of the year. Quite simply, it was a far more fun listen than I ever expected. Speaking of expectations, I fully expected Paul's next move in 2021 would be to release a deluxe edition of that album, adding some extra unreleased songs and demo versions. But when he instead announced McCartney III Imagined, I was once again surprised. This new release was described as a curious combination of re-recordings and remixes of the songs from last year's McCartney III, all featuring varying degrees of reimagining at the hands of other musical artists. So far, we've received 2 teaser singles from the upcoming collection, and the results are, shall we say, a mixed bag. Let's start with the good stuff, and that's young American R&B singer Dominic Fike's new version of The Kiss of Venus. This was the first single from McCartney III Imagined, and for me, it checks all the boxes for the right way to cover someone else's song. Fike's rendition retains all of the original version's tune and heartfelt vibe, but takes a refreshingly new approach to the music. I really love the way Fike blends a modern R&B sound with McCartney's trademark neo-psychedelic melodies. I truly appreciate hearing the song from such a vibrantly different perspective. For me, that's exactly what good covers do. If you're not bringing something new to the song, why bother doing it? With The Kiss of Venus, Dominic Fike respects the source material while at the same time adding his own flavor to the mix. The fact that it works so well is a credit not only to Fike, but to Paul McCartney as well for crafting such a surprisingly malleable song in the first place. Now, the second single from McCartney III Imagined was actually one of the tracks I was most looking forward to hearing, but I should have known better. As a solo artist, I love what Beck does, but I don't think his particular musical aesthetic necessarily fits with McCartney's, or at least not with the song Find My Way. The original version was one of my favorite tracks on McCartney III, with its great bouncing melody and playful lyrics and vocals. In Beck's hands, though, the song has been almost completely stripped of melody in favor of a looping bass line and thumping dance beats. It's a virtually joyless and utterly monotonous 5 minutes that succumbs to the worst of instincts when it comes to creating remixes. This new version does nothing to elevate the song or to celebrate its spirited mood. With Beck's own music, he usually finds a way to balance the dance beats with the melody in truly inventive and infectious ways. And honestly, if he'd chosen to actually record his own cover version of the song rather than remixing it, there's a small chance it might have worked. Here, there is nothing that would inspire repeat listens, let alone move anyone to find their way to a dance floor. Obviously, these 2 songs take wildly different approaches to the original versions. Dominic Fike's contribution is exciting and fresh, while Beck's attempt at reinvention is a massive misstep. How the rest of these reimagined versions will fare, it's too soon to tell. Quite a few of the songs on the new track list appear to be remixes, which I certainly don't have high hopes for after hearing Beck's contribution. I'm not sure how many more songs, if any, will be true cover versions along the lines of what Dominic Fike did here. And if I'm being honest, as much as I thought McCartney III was a very good Paul McCartney album, there's very little on it that I actually feel like I would want to hear reimagined. As deep a catalog as Paul has, there's 100 other songs I'd pick for covers before I'd select anything from McCartney III. And yet, I'll admit, Dominic Fike surprised me in the very best of ways. I hope we get more gems like that when the full McCartney III Imagined drops digitally on April 16th and on CD and vinyl July 23rd. Once again, my name's Kyle, and this has been Track by Track. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, plus check out some of these other videos below that I think you might also enjoy. And of course, be sure to subscribe, because true music fans always want new releases the day they come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.